Berserk references in Dark Souls.
Miyazaki confirmed in one of his interviews that
my God,
Siegmeyer's design is inspired by Bazuso.
Knight.
However, the similarity is only in
I
the
remember
armor,
this guy.
as the two have very different
Yes.
personalities.
I love this guy.
Bazuso is one of the early characters hostile to Guts.
I have to
which
say
is
this Dark Souls is one of my favorite
very
games of all
different from
time.
the jovial and helpful
yeah.
Siegmeyer. Siegmeyer proved to be a popular character, so he
But I don't care
reappeared
about
in a
this
later
character.
game in the series as Siegward. He still retains the same armor and jovial personality.
He's
The
cute.
Berserk volume source is volume 4, and the chapter name is The Golden Age. Rosine
Oh,
is one
remember
of the
this.
apostles whom Guts
Oh my
fought
God, man. This is a very Dark Souls thing, having a boss like this.
and defeated. In her apostle form, she takes the shape of a giant moth.
Oh my God.
In Dark Souls, the player will encounter a boss
What?
named Moonlight Butterfly,
I didn't
which is
notice
a giant
this.
butterfly.
It's the same.
I believe that Miyazaki added the Moonlight Butterfly boss.
Yes, but I think the butterfly boss in the Dark Souls, it's not that frightening. I think just it looks like an insect,
Fight as a
normal
deliberate
insect.
homage to Rosine.
Of course,
He could have
it's a
chosen
butterfly, it's an
entirely
insect,
different boss
but
monster instead. The Berserk
oh my
volume-
God, this is the Evangelion thing.
He could have chosen
didn't
an
notice
entirely
this.
different boss monster instead.
The spear here. This spear is from
The
Evangelion.
Berserk volume source is volume 16, and the chapter name is Sky Demon. Snakelord
Yes.
is one of the early
Oh
apostles
my
that Guts
God,
fought
I hate
after
this.
gaining his
Oh my
reputation
God, I
as
hate
the
this
Black
creature.
Swordsman.
I hate this
He
creature.
bears a striking resemblance to the humanoid serpent
Fuck, I hate
monsters
this
found
creature.
in Dark Souls.
I think this is the map
man-serpent
that I
enemies
died the
make
most.
a comeback in Dark Souls 3, featuring an upgraded moveset and attacks. The
Man,
Berserk
and the
volume
head
source
looks like a penis.
is volume
Looks
1,
like a dick,
and the
I
chapter
think.
name is The Black Swordsman. Nosferatu Zod is undeniably one
my
of the most
God.
popular and significant monsters in
I
Berserk.
think this is the best fight.
He plays a
in the
prominent
beginning.
role in nearly all crucial moments of the story. It comes as no surprise that Miyazaki would pay homage to Zod
Oh,
by making him
yeah.
the first real boss that the
looks like
player
Zod.
encounters in
Oh.
the game. However,
Yeah, but
it would have
I
been
don't
even
think I
better
noticed this very well when I played it.
if there were an upgraded version of the Taurus demon for the hero to face later in their
But
adventure.
yes, this boss is
In the manga,
a
Zod
cool
possesses
boss.
3 forms: humanoid, beast, and
the
winged
demon, a
beast.
fucking
Given his
devil.
enduring
in the
popularity,
end.
there is a possibility that we
Yeah,
might
the old
see Zod
anime, the
make
fight in the old
appearances
anime is
future
amazing.
FromSoft games. The Berserk volume source is volume 5, and the chapter name is Nosferatu Zod.
Yes, this creature is
This is
fucking
another
amazing.
compelling example of Miyazaki's
This is
homage
when you see how crazy Berserk is. You see
rather
this
than simply copying
violent,
Berserk.
bizarre fight.
The resemblance between the red eye orb and,
And
the
I think
crimson
he says to him, Griffith is a very bad guy. I don't think Griffith is good. He
Behelit
says
is
that to
unmistakable.
Guts.
Miyazaki could have altered the design to preempt any criticisms, avoid unnecessary comments, or prevent accusations of plagiarism.
It's
However,
very
he
similar.
seems unbothered by such concerns, and instead aims to pay tribute to something significant.
Yes, I think
within the Berserk
it's paying
universe.
tribute. I
The
don't
Red
think
Eye
it's
Orb
copying
holds
or
relevance
anything.
in the Dark Souls universe and appears in all 3 games of the series.
God,
The
I don't
Berserk
think they're
volume
gonna do
source
anything better than the old 90s anime.
Is volume 3, and the
of
chapter
Berserk.
name is
I don't think
Guardians
they
of
can do
Desire.
it better than this. No
Similar
way.
to Zod, the Skull Knight holds immense importance as one of the key non-human characters in Berserk.
I think this is the most
He may
romantic
possess
scene.
knowledge about the secrets of the Berserk universe, making him a central figure. Thus, it is
Wait.
not surprising that Miyazaki incorporated a group of monsters based on the design of the Skull Knight's armor. These
Okay,
monsters
okay.
also make an
Because
appearance
I'm
in
not
Dark
remembering any boss with the Skull
Souls
Knight.
3, although they do
appearance.
not play as significant a role in the game's lore as the Skull
Yes.
Knight does in Berserk. The Berserk volume source is volume 9, and the chapter name
I think this is so
Skull
cool.
Knight. Rickert is a
Like
young
one
member
of the coolest manga of all time and one of the coolest games of all time being
of
similar.
the Band of
It's
the
very
Hawk,
nice.
who later became a
I've
blacksmith
really,
under the training of Godot.
I'm
He
really
is one of the few members who
happy.
survived the eclipse. In Dark Souls, there is an NPC whose name is Rickett, and
Oh my
interestingly,
god,
is also a
I don't
blacksmith.
care about this creature.
However, the biggest
ignore
proof
him.
that this character is
Die
inspired
in
by
prison.
Rickert of Berserk is the cell where he is locked up. In Berserk, Rickert helps in taking care of Casca by locking her up in a small room of a cave.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This cave gives magical protection to Casca against monsters who attack the Branded. From their perspective,
Poor
being
girl.
locked in the room is safer
Her life
than
is so
going
bad.
outside.
Oh,
This same view is shared
Yeah.
by the blacksmith Rickert in Dark Souls, as he feels safer in his own cell than being outside.
yes.
The
I
Berserk
think
volume-
if I lived in Dark Souls, I would prefer to be locked in jail. I don't want to be outside with those monsters, man. please lock me in jail. Lock me in jail. I don't want to get out anyway. Please hold me inside the most protected jail ever with thousands of bars different. Oh my god.
Volume 14.
Don't let me out. Don't let me out, please.
In the manga, there is a location where Guts was attacked by monster babies surrounded by flame.
I remember this mob in Dark Souls.
The target will burst into fire. Guts spent a night fighting these small enemies.
I hate.
In the game, while exploring the path towards
I know
Nito,
this.
you will face the skeleton babies.
These
small
hate
enemies
them.
have a very similar attack to the fire babies. They can also cause toxic buildup on the player if touched,
and
similar
they don't
to the
give any
burning
runes,
effect of the
I think.
babies in Berserk.
Any souls.
The Berserk volume source is volume 15, and the chapter name is Red-Eyed Peacaf. Ornstein and Smough are the most famous boss enemies in Dark Souls, so it's truly amazing to discover their origins in Berserk. While Guts
fat fuck,
was on his way to
him.
fight the Apostle Rosine, he was blocked from progressing by 2 strong enemies. Their names were not provided.
Wait, a fat insect and a skinny insect. That's it. That's the
we will
enemy.
just refer to them as Mantis and Beetle.
Wait. Did Miyazaki get his inspiration from both?
This is what
characters?
Guts said about them.
Oh my
Not
god.
good. I can't fight them both at once. One has thick armor and the other has speed.
Yeah.
Isn't that what every player says when facing Ornstein and Smough for the first time? Ornstein represents speed and can cover long distances in one stride.
I always kill the fat one
On the other
first.
hand, Smough is slow and lumbering but compensates for it by dealing high damage and having thick armor. The source of the Berserk volume is volume 15, and the chapter is titled Lost Children. The wheel skeleton is one of the
I lost all my sons and daughters in my life.
widely recognized references.
I have 13 or 14 sons and daughters all in the world living now.
The Berserk in Dark
No, I
Souls.
don't. No, I
These
don't.
skeletons wear a large wooden spiked wheel, enabling
Oh
them
my
to
God, I
roll
hate this.
towards you at high speed and
Fuck. I hate
inflict
this
a
mob
significant
more than
amount of
any mob in
damage
the
if you happen
game.
to be
I
in their
hate this
path.
fucking mob.
The first encounter with these enemies occurs at the bottom of the catacombs, just before the entrance to
fuck
Pinwheel's
this
lair.
creature.
In Berserk, the wheel skeletons first appeared when they chased Isidro and Guts. This reference is not only amusing,
it's exactly
but
the
also
same.
undeniably clear. The source of the Berserk volume is volume 17, and the chapter is
I
titled
didn't get
To
to
Holy
this long,
Ground.
so I don't know.
Pinwheel has a rich lore in Dark Souls, as
Yeah,
he
this creature
possesses
is
3
weird.
masks that grant him special powers. In the design works, it is also mentioned that he is composed of 3 individuals fused together. In Berserk,
Yeah, it's
when
like
Luca
me.
accidentally
I have 3
discovers the den of
personalities.
the egg
One is trash, one is shit, and the other one is
apostle,
nice.
she witnessed a deific image depicted in a screenshot. This deific image is formed by the skin and bones of priests fused together, resembling the fusion seen in Pinwheel.
Oh.
Additionally, both locations
Man, when you
share
wake
some
up and you see this, you know your life's not on the tracks. You know your life's not nice. You have something to change in your life.
similarity in being
When you wake up with this view, come on, man, you have
adorned
to
with numerous
go
candles.
see a therapist.
From these observations, it can be concluded that Miyazaki adopted the concept of the deific image and its location, incorporating it into the creation of Pinwheel. The source of the Berserk volume is volume 20, and the chapter is titled One Unknown in the Depth of Depths. Miyazaki has publicly confirmed that many armors and sets in Dark Souls draw inspiration from other media.
And I think he has this word here.
For instance, the Warrior class set is inspired by Parn from Record of Lodoss War, and the Thorn
Oh my god.
armor set takes inspiration from both Saint Seiya
Come on,
and
Lodoss
JoJo's
War.
Bizarre
Man,
Adventure. The
watch
Ferris set bears a
this
striking
OVA. I
resemblance
think it's
to
12
the attire
episodes.
worn by the Apostle Irvine. However, the most
from the
telling
90s.
clue lies in the pose adopted when using the Ferris bow for attacking. The source of the Berserk volume is volume 23,
Record of
and the
Lodoss
chapter
War,
is
so
titled
amazing,
War
this
Demons.
anime.
The giant cats of Darkroot Garden, also known as Great Felines, can be found near the gate that leads to the Great Grey Wolf Sith.
those are annoying.
Initially, only one
Wait,
cat jumps
this is
out
a
at you,
cat?
but there are 3
I
cats
thought
in
this was
total
a
within
rat
this
when I
area,
played
and
it.
they do not respawn after being defeated. These creatures bear a striking resemblance to the monster cats in Berserk,
No,
both
man,
in
the monster cat in Berserk is way more
terms of their size and appearance.
it's
Furthermore,
frightening.
they share similar characteristics, being highly aggressive and capable of swift movements and attacks. The source of the Berserk volume is volume 30, and the chapter is titled Duel. Godot plays a significant role in Berserk as the maker of the Dragon Slayer sword, which serves as Guts' iconic weapon. In contrast, Andre is the primary blacksmith who aids the hero during the early
Man,
stages
and this guy's there in
of
Dark
his
Souls 3,
adventure.
I think.
These two blacksmiths also share visual
him.
similarities,
Yeah, I don't
although it
remember. I
should be
played just
noted
the
that
beginning.
Godot is depicted as having passed his prime when he encounters Guts. The source of the Berserk volume is Volume 10, and the chapter is titled Sparks from a Sword Tip. Miyazaki pays the highest homage to Berserk in Dark Souls by designing the main humanoid boss
I
of the
remember
Sword expansion
he is
to resemble
this.
Guts.
Oh, okay, he
This
is
homage
Guts.
extends beyond just visual similarities.
Yes.
It also holds contextual significance. Artorias, like Guts, becomes consumed by darkness and succumbs to it as he continues to battle against it. Similarly, Guts becomes
same
consumed
armor,
by the power
I saw
of the
this.
Berserker armor
The same
as he
sword.
relies on it to defeat monsters. For those familiar
Man, I
with
love this
both
boss
the manga
fight.
and the game, it becomes evident that their attack styles also bear resemblance. One can imagine Miyazaki instructing his designers, pointing to the manga and saying, Artorias is
Even the atmosphere of this anime is
jumping
very
attacks should be
of the
like
game
this.
is very similar to
The
the
most
anime.
intriguing aspect is that this homage is a complete cover-to-cover tribute. The pose of Artorias displayed on the game cover is a replica of the
Menos
cover
is
of
me.
Berserk
I think
Volume 28. Once again,
them.
as previously mentioned, Miyazaki was not obligated to incorporate such an homage. The essence and value of the game do not hinge solely on this reference. However, for those fortunate enough to recognize the homage, there is a sense of joy in discovering this hidden
There's
beauty.
one video
In
about
total,
Sekiro
we have
with this.
identified 15 influences from Berserk on Dark Souls, 14 of which are considered to be beyond doubt, and one similar. If you would like to explore how Dark Souls...
Oh my god, I want to see the Sekiro one. My favorite game of all time. Sekiro is the best game in my opinion, and Elden Ring too. Yeah,